Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mel, and welcome back to Mel Got Game, where I bring you top plays, top sports news, and breakdowns of the previous week. So if that interests you, please like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So guys, what's going on? I hope you all are having an amazing day. The NFL offseason is really heating up right now. We already had a blockbuster trade that sent wide receiver DJ Moore to the Bears as the Panthers got the first overall pick in return. Adam Thielen was released by the Vikings after a decade with the team on March 10th, making him a free agent. Cornerback Darius Slay is seeking a trade from Philadelphia. Aaron Rodgers is closing in on a trade that will send him to the Jets. And a lot more stuff that has been shaking up the league that we don't even have time to get into today. But in honor of the free agency period starting on March 15th, I've decided to put a list together of the top 5 best and most impactful free agency signings in NFL history. Now, ever since the current free agency period was introduced in 1993, the NFL has really seen some intriguing free agency pickups during that almost 30-year time span. And some of these were a little bit more meaningful than others. And the thing about free agent pickups is they could look like really big powerhouse moves on the surface and could really send the league into a frenzy when they go down. But ultimately, you have to just stay tuned to see if the move really works in the long run. And let me tell you right now, there have been a lot that did not work out. It isn't about just signing the player, but it's also about making sure they fit into your scheme as well. And also making sure that they are meshing and building that team chemistry with the squad. Because not every team can actually land a star player and then utilize his talent correctly. But in this list of top 5 free agency signings of all time, these players and teams did exactly that. These signings check off all the boxes that lead to success in free agency, as these moves prove to be effective for the franchises in the long run. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the number 5th free agency signing of all time. So the number 5 free agency pickup on my list is the Green Bay Packers signing of the Hall of Fame defensive back Charles Woodson. And before Woodson signing with the Packers, he was actually selected to 3 Pro Bowls, as well as having won Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Raiders. And the Raiders placed him on the franchise tag during the 2005 season for the 2nd straight year, which gave the Raiders more time to determine if Woodson was worth keeping long term. But Woodson's broken leg injury in week 6 of the season quickly derailed any chances of a long-term deal getting worked out between him and the organization. And it was clear that Woodson's time in Oakland was coming to an end. And even though he was one of the more dominant DBs in the league during his first few seasons, the Packers were actually the only team to offer him a contract in free agency. And while Woodson himself stated that he didn't even want to go to Green Bay, the marriage proved to be fruitful as Woodson won the Defensive Player of the Year award in 2009, as well as helping lead the Packers to their 4th Super Bowl title in franchise history the following season. And while he was unable to finish the Super Bowl due to a broken collarbone suffered in the 2nd quarter, he still played a vital role in that title run, as well as contributing to the Green Bay Packers' dominance during the late 2000s. Now moving on to the number 4 free agency signing, we have Deion Sanders moving from the San Francisco 49ers to the Dallas Cowboys. And both the Cowboys and the Niners were powerhouses in the NFC during the 90s, largely due to Sanders' dominant play on the defensive end, as he's widely regarded as the best cornerback to ever play in the NFL. And during 5 seasons with the Niners, Sanders was selected to 4 Pro Bowls, 1 Defensive Player in 1994, and brought the Niners their 5th Super Bowl title that same year. And after 94, the Niners were apparently just not interested in his services anymore. And I don't know what kind of drugs they were on, but literally the next year, Sanders signs with the Cowboys and then wins the Super Bowl with his new team, which gave the Cowboys their 5th Super Bowl title. And while the Cowboys definitely underperformed for the rest of the 90s, Sanders stayed dominant as he was selected to 4 more Pro Bowls, as well as garnering 3 first-team All-Pro selections. Now at number 3 on the list, we have the Denver Broncos signing of the 5 times NFL MVP Peyton Manning. Now what's really interesting about this free agency signing was that Peyton Manning really wasn't even supposed to be on the market, because right before the 2011 season, Manning signed a 5-year, $90 million deal with the Colts. But his neck surgery in May of that year diminished his arm strength significantly, as it caused him to need a spinal fusion surgery. And even though the procedure was successful, the doctors were actually reluctant that Manning could even return to the league at his age. And while Manning recovered and continued to improve, the Colts actually went 2-14 that year, which actually granted them the 1st pick in the draft. And knowing that the highly touted Andrew Luck declared for the 2012 draft, the Colts decided to actually move on from Manning and release him to save cap space and pursue Luck, which then made him a free agent. But it wasn't long until John Elway and the Broncos jumped on the opportunity to sign Manning. And in just his 2nd year with the Broncos, he then won his 5th MVP, setting the NFL record for most passing yards and passing touchdowns in a single season, as well as leading them to a Super Bowl appearance against the Seahawks. And after a loss to the Colts in the divisional round in 2014, Manning decided to return for one last year in which him and the Broncos beat Cam Newton and the Panthers in Super Bowl 50. Now next at number 2, we have Drew Brees signing with the New Orleans Saints in 2006. Now what ultimately led to this signing was Breeze's refusal to sign a contract that only paid $2 million guaranteed, while the rest of the contract Breeze would have to earn in incentives. And after the Chargers were reluctant to increase their offer due to Breeze's shoulder injury sustained in the latter parts of the season, Breeze decided to sign a sizable contract with the New Orleans Saints, forcing the Chargers to turn to their first-round draft pick in 2004, Phillip Rivers. And what largely made this signing impactful was that the Saints were just coming off an abysmal 3-13 season where they were forced to evacuate New Orleans due to Hurricane Katrina and play the rest of their home games on the road. And with the signing of Breeze along with the hiring of Sean Payton the same year, the Saints posted a 10-6 record, won the NFC South for the first time in 6 years, and reached their first NFC Championship game in franchise history. And their success didn't stop there, as it only took 4 seasons after Breeze's signing that the Saints would make the Super Bowl and win their first and only title. And in his 15 seasons with the Saints, he finished as their all-time passing leader in completions, attempts, yards, and touchdowns, as well as leading them to 7 division titles and 9 playoff appearances, while also being awarded Offensive Player of the Year twice and being selected to 12 Pro Bowls. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have one of the first players that became a free agent with the current free agency system. And that player is Reggie White, who became a free agent in 1993 and decided to sign with the Green Bay Packers. At the time, White was arguably the best defensive player and was definitely the best defensive lineman during the late 80s and early 90s, as he won Defensive Player of the Year in 1987 after having 21 sacks in only 12 games, and actually accumulated more sacks than games played during his tenure with the Eagles. He then continued his superior play with the Packers, racking up 68.5 sacks during his stint with the Packers, which at the time was a franchise record. And just 4 years after his signing, he led the Packers to a Super Bowl title, which was their 3rd in franchise history, and also set an NFL record for most sacks in the Super Bowl with 3 sacks in the championship game. And White's time in Green Bay was capped off with winning the Defensive Player of the Year award in his final year with the team before his first retirement. Well guys, that is my list for the top 5 free agent signings in NFL history. Let me know what you guys think of my list and what are your favorite free agent signings in the comments below. The free agency period starts on March 15th and is already shaping up to be a good one, as some high profile players are slated to become free agents very soon. And who knows, maybe a few years from now we'll be able to revisit this list and add some new faces to it. But for now, that is it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm praying that y'all favorite teams get some solid players in free agency. I know it can be a tough time sitting around watching your team do nothing while all these other teams are making huge moves. Trust me, I'm a Falcons fan. I definitely know we haven't gotten a star player in free agency in a decade. But yeah, with that being said, it's your boy Mel. I'm gonna see you guys next time on Mel Got Game, and I'm out. Peace. And I'm out. Peace. Peace. And I'm out. Peace. And I'm out. Peace. So I do this. Peace. And I'm out. Peace. And I'm out. Peace. I don't know which one I should do. Should I do? And I'm out. Which one seems more natural? What do I normally do? And I'm out. Peace. No, that feels weird. And I'm out. Peace. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. But with that being said, it is your boy Mel. No, heck no. Heck no. It is your boy. No, ma'am. And after the Chargers were reluctant to increase their offer due to Breeze's. What am I saying? And after the Chargers were reluctant to increase the offer due to Breeze's, why do I keep saying that? And after the Chargers were reluctant to increase their offer due to Breeze's shoulder. And after the Chargers were reluctant to increase their offer due to Breeze's shoulder. Okay. And after the Chargers were reluctant to increase their offer due to Breeze's shoulder injuries to it's too many S's. Breeze's shoulder sustained season. It's so many S's, bro. And after the Chargers were reluctant to increase their offer due to Breeze's shoulder injury sustained in the latter parts of the season. Okay, I'm done. I'm not doing it again.